On practice test 3,
Evan, stop.
page, well, the back of page 1, practice test 3, the back of page 1, we're ready for problem number 4. Okay, so yesterday at Open Gym we discovered there's a few issues still with matrix multiplication. So let's make sure we have this figured out. So, what is the rule for matrix multiplication? If I'm going to multiply two matrices, what has to be the case? Matthew, when I write my dimensions, and what are the dimensions of this guy? 2 by 3, 2 rows, and this one has 3 rows, so this one's 3 by 3. Matt says these have to match. That's the rule for multiplication. What's the rule for addition? They have to match exactly. So I have a 2 by 3, a 2 by 3, or a 3 by 3 and a 3 by 3. But they have to match exactly. Now the answer to this multiplication is going to have 2 rows and 3 columns, because this is the leftover dimensions there are the dimensions of the answer. Now this is easy, just be organized. You need to fill in all these blanks. This blank, for example, is in the first row and the first column. So we're going to multiply the first row of numbers, 1, 2, negative 1, times the first column of numbers, 1, 3, 0. You don't have to write that down. Sometimes it helps to write it down. But that's what you're doing. So you're taking the first number times the first number, the second number times the second number, and the third number times the third number. You're multiplying each pair, but then you're totaling them up. So it looks like we get 7. Is that right? And then we say, okay, if I want this spot right here next, then that's the first row. So the 1, 2, negative 1 again, the same row of numbers. But now it's 2, 2, 1. So what is that? 5? Is that right, 5?
Yes.
And then one more time, because now we want this column. So we'll take our 1, 2, and our negative 1, first row, but now negative 1, 1, 2. You can total them up. You will have a calculator, remember. So if you need it to do that, you can. Now what? Now we go to the second row. So now we're going to use 0, 3, and 4 with the first column, the second column, and the third column. So we're going to use that same set of numbers there with the first column, 1, 3, 0, with the second column, 2, 2, 1, and with the third column, negative 1, 1, 2. Multiply and add, so let's see, what do we get? I got 9. Is that right? And then I got 10. And then I got 11. Everybody good? No issues. All fine. All right, B says add C plus 2A. Can I do it? No. Nope. C plus 2A is not possible. Letter B is not possible because C is 2 by 2 and A is 2 by 3 and they don't match, so I can't add. 2b minus 3c. So 2 times negative 1, 2, 3, 1 minus 3 times negative 2, 2, 5, 1. Is that possible?
Yes.
Yep, that's going to be doable. So we'll start by doing multiplication here. So negative 2, 4, 6, 1, 2. Yeah, there we go. Minus negative 6, 6, 15, 1. 3 times this. Why do I keep doing that? 3. Now I'm going to subtract them. So negative 2 minus negative 6. 4 minus 6. 6 minus 15. And 2 minus 3. All the cobwebs starting to leave your brain. You getting that okay? Next, what's this next problem asking me for? What am I doing here? Finding the inverse. And the original is negative 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so what do we need to do? A couple of things, 2 things, 2-step problem. Need to find the determinant, so here we go. The determinant would be negative 1 minus 6. I got negative 7. Everybody pay attention to the order I went. It's always this first. That's first. So it's negative 1 minus 6. All right, now what? Do the switching. So these two physically switch places. Don't get confused with those two numbers. It looks like I'm changing their signs, but I'm not. I'm physically putting this one up here and this one down here. Then these two, I change their signs, right? And then what? Take all these guys and divide them by negative 7. And if anything simplifies, you need to simplify it. So in this case, nothing reduces, but we can get rid of some negatives, right? So you want to do that. You never leave a negative over a negative. All right, how about next one? What's happening in E? We're just multiplying everything by negative 2. What do we call the negative 2? A scalar. So we're just taking negative 2 times everything. So that would give us 2, negative 4, negative 6, negative 2. Easy. And F's another multiplication. B times D, what do you think? Doesn't work because B is a 2 by 2 and D is a 3 by 3, and those don't match, so you can't do it. So F is a I can't do it. All right, number 5 is a determinant. How do you go about solving that? First two columns. So 1, 0, 4. I'm trying to be organized here. 1, 0, 4. Negative 1, 3, negative 2. And you want to be really careful to include all the negatives. And then we're going to start right here, right? So that is 9 minus 4 plus 0, that's 5. And then here we've got what, 24, yeah, 24, negative 2, and 0, so that's 22. Now what happens? Subtract, and it's 5 minus 22. So the answer is negative 17. Remember, it's these first. This is first. Max, you gonna get that one right? Now we have our little vocab section. Is B a square matrix in number 6? Is B a square matrix? No, why not?
It's be equal for rows and columns.
Doesn't have the same number of rows as columns. It's a 3 by 4, right? That is not the same number of rows as columns. What is B sub 2, 3? Lydia says negative, what'd you say, negative 2? She right?
It's 2 by 3. It's negative 2. Yeah.
It is the number that is in the second row, third column, so Olivia is right. It is negative 2. It is the number that is in the second row, the third column. Negative 2 is that number. What are the dimensions of B? I already said it. It's 3 by 4. What's a scalar?
Multiplier in front.
Just a real number, right? It's a real number. We see them as coefficients, but a scalar is just a real number. What is a matrix?
An array of
A rectangular
Array of
of
numbers.
numbers arranged in rows and columns. Now, that question has been on every practice test. If you miss it, I don't know how to describe you. Okay, some of the lines in my chart didn't come out here very well, but we got it anyway. We're okay. Alright, so we got a number, we got a fixed interval, we have a value, we have A, B, a total. Alright, so let's see what's happening. We're going to maximize something. Alright, you're about to take a test that contains questions of type A worth 10 points, and questions, okay, wait, type A worth 10 points, and questions of type B worth 25 points. You must do at least 3 questions of type A, but time restricts doing more than 12. So what does that mean about type A? What interval does A
Between
lie
3
in
and
between?
12.
Jordan?
X is greater than 3 or greater than equal to 3 or less than equal to 3.
Exactly. So if we let A be X and B be Y, X has to be between 3 and 12. Now remember, if you want to write that with your interval notation, that's fine. But the fixed interval is going to be one of the things that we're graphing. So we're going to graph this. Okay, now let's see. You must do at least 4 of type B, but not more than 15. So Y has to be between 4 and 15. Does that make sense to everybody when you read the problem? In total, you can do no more than 20 questions. So where does the 20 go? The total number of questions is 20. So what equation comes out of that? X plus Y is less than or equal to 20. And then the 2 that are here always, we have X bigger than 0 and Y bigger than 0. what am I maximizing? My score? And how will I calculate my score? 10x plus 25y, that's exactly right. Now, that one's over by itself, we don't graph it. What do we do with this? We save him to the very end, right?
Yep.
And then whatever points we get from our picture, we're gonna plug them in there. All right, so speaking of the picture, here we go. What's this gonna look like? How do I graph this guy? He only has one letter.
You have more lines going off
So
the
on my x-axis, I mark 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. On my x-axis. And then those are just vertical lines straight up. And if I am shading, where would I be shaded? In between. So right now, we are looking at this bar of area right here. So that's my red one. Okay, now, let's do this one in purple. We do the same thing with this one, right? Except the marks are counted on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh shoot, I'm gonna run out of room. Need another color here. All right, now I'll do this one. Now this one has both letters. So I cover up one at a time. So that says y is 20 and x is 20. It's going to be up here. This is always like the supreme challenge for me.
Boom.
I gotta figure out the shading. I'm shaded between the reds and between the purples and under the green. So I think I have this. What do you think? Does that seem about right to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we gotta find all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those points. So we can do that. Some of them are super simple. For example, what's this point? That's 3, 4. That's easy. So's this one. This one is what? 12, 4. So's this one. This one is 3:15. Now, these are a little bit harder, but not super hard. Because if we're on the red line right here, what do we know? X is 12. But if we're on the green line, we know we have to add up to 20. So if we already know X is 12, then Y has to be 8. And then similarly up here, we're on the purple line, so we know Y is 15. And if we have to add up to 20, then we know the X has to be 5. So there are our 5 points. So we gotta make a list of our 5 points. And then what do I do? I've got all my points now. What am I gonna do?
Plug them in.
I'm gonna find the score for each of those. and see what I should answer. Now, some of you are going to say, Mrs. Ford, if I do 3 A's and 15 B's,
It's obviously gonna be less than 5.
isn't that going to be less than doing 5 A's and 15 B's? So some of you are going to use your common sense and not necessarily find a score for every one. I will. But some of you won't do that. Did you get 405 for this one? Remember, your vertices of your feasible region, this is your feasible region right here. The vertices always give you the maximum and the minimum. So from this, you should be able to tell that your maximum score happens right here. So we will answer the question and say, I'll do 5 A questions and 15 B questions. And my score will be 425. We write a sentence telling what our choices are and what our value is, our maximum and minimum. If we wanted the minimum score, we would do 3 and 4, because that would give us just a score of 130. Everybody okay with that? We're going to take our time with that, work carefully. Last one, here we go. What do we do here? What your mean old teacher tell you you got to have on the paper?
The before and after.
The before and after, that's right. The matrix that goes in, the matrix that comes out, and the answer. So here will be the matrix that goes in. Here will be the matrix that comes out. What are my letters this time? E, F, G, and H? Alright, so we have 1, 2, negative 3, 1, negative 8. 1, 1, negative 1, negative 1, negative 1. 2, 0, negative 3, 4, 2. 0, 0, 1, negative 1, 2. Alright, check that over, make sure I didn't make any mistakes. Because my calculator is going to do exactly what I tell it to do, so if I make a mistake.
That's right.
Alright, so let's go through this one more time. Second matrix, over to edit, right? Enter. It wants to know how big this is. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 4 enter, 5 enter, and then in go our numbers.
Didn't work.
What? It didn't work? I don't want anything tricky to happen here. It may not be rigged.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
Actually, I think it is.
Is it? Oh, it is. You get zoom on the bottom.
I got 4, negative 3, 2, and 0.
The So then, at least said if you get 0 for one of the answers, that doesn't work. Like on the far right.
No. I said it doesn't work if you get a row
Of all
that
zeros.
looks like this,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
because that says nothing equals 1, which is not true. But you can say something equals 0, you can say h equals 0. There's nothing wrong with that.
Come on, James.
Now, again, we have a lot of problems that are rigged, and then we've had problems that aren't rigged. So this one was rigged, it was beautiful. What happens if we have one that's not rigged though? We have to hit math, enter, right? To get those fractions. So don't be alarmed if that happens. It happened on our quizzes, for sure. Okay? All right, so we think about taking a test on Wednesday. What do we need to practice? Is there anything at all that you feel like?
The really long one with the graph.
So a linear programming problem?
Yes. You're gonna get that one wrong. Hell yeah. Oh yeah. You're not good for that one to do it.
We had a
Okay.
couple of
And
those problems on an extra practice worksheet I gave you, but I gave mine away, but I can copy one down here. It's kind of hard, but let's see here if I can give you the gist of the problem. Okay, this says, let's do one that's not a fixed interval problem. Because we've done several fixed intervals. Let's do one that's not. Okay, so we have a landscaping company, and they mow lawns and prune shrubbery. So they mow and prune. The company schedules 1 hour for mowing jobs and 3 hours for pruning jobs. Okay, so remember, the chart's gonna be all set up for you. This is hard because you don't have the problem in front of you, but the chart's gonna be all set up for you. You're just gonna read the problem and plug in the numbers. So you have 1 hour for mowing jobs and 3 hours for pruning jobs. Each crew is scheduled for no more than 2 pruning jobs a day. So no more than 2 pruning jobs a day. So if we let X be the number of mowing and Y be the number of pruning, then we automatically know Y has to be less than or equal to 2. The problem says no more than 2 pruning jobs per day. The maximum number of hours that a crew can work is 9. So the total number of hours is 9. The maximum number of hours they can work is 9, which gives us what equation? What is coming out of there? X plus Y is less than or equal to 9. On average, the charge for mowing a lawn is $40. and for pruning shrubbery is $120. Find the combination of mowing lawns and pruning shrubs that will maximize the income. So how will our income be calculated?
40X plus 120Y.
Wait a minute, I put this 9 in the wrong spot. Did you catch that? All right, let me write my income here. 40X plus 120Y. Okay, let me back up a minute. Each crew is set up for a maximum of 9 hours a day. 9 hours a day. So I had to have the 9 in the hour spot, which gives me X plus 3Y less than or equal to 9. All right, so let me read this through and make sure I have all the numbers filled in. Landscaping, okay. 1 hour for mowing, 3 hours for pruning. No more than 2 pruning a day. 9 hours total a day. $40 and 120. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's it. So we've got X bigger than 0 and Y bigger than 0, and I think we're ready to go. So what's this gonna look like? Right here. What is this one gonna look like?
It's a straight line.
So Y is 2, there's only one letter, so it looks just like this, right? And it would be shaded underneath, so I'm only looking at this little space under here. What's that gonna look like? That's a diagonal line. So I'll count up. So I'll count up, how many, if I cover that up, Y is 3. And X will be 9. Does that look okay? Where's that one shaded? And that's it. I don't have any more equations for this problem. So I've got this shape right here. So 0, 0, 0, 2, 9, 0, and what's that one? Well, I don't know, but I know Y is 2. So if Y is 2, then X would have to be 3. If Y is 2. So let's find our income. 40X and 121. Oh, this is interesting. What happened? You can do either or, yeah, you can do either or. What's the best thing for this company to do? We should either what? We should do 9 mowing jobs?
Or 3 mowing jobs and 2 pruning.
Or
I don't know if that's a pruning.
3 mowing
Pruning.
and 2 pruning? For a total of $360. That's hard to do when you don't have a problem in front of you, I know. can you think of anything else that might cause you a little bit of
Come on, James.
trouble?
Fine, Evan.
Totally ready?
Yes. Like right now.
Multiply matrices? Okay, you wanna come up and do one, Matthew?
We ain't helping up and see. We ain't helping up and see.
The ones that kids miss the most points on actually include this matrix multiplication. For some reason, sometimes we miss stuff. So he's gonna do this. Alright, so we're gonna do that. And then another one that we miss a lot is this one. So do I have a volunteer to come up and do this?
Come on, Evan.
I have to do it because it's do it.
And then everybody try these two, and then I'll be done, and you can stop it.
Wait, can you do this one?
I gotta get this moved. I gotta get the full extension.
No, you can't do that. Because it's 3 times 2. When you box that, and then you have to look at the outside.
Okay, what are the dimensions of that second matrix?
3 times 3 times 2 times 3.
No, what are the dimensions of the second one?
It's 3 by 2.
It's a 3 by 2.
Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do it real quick. I hope you're all doing it too. I know you're tired on this
It would be 1 times
daylight savings time Monday.
2 plus 2.
I don't know. Jordan wonders if he did it right. Has anybody done his problem yet?
Wait.
Negative 30. Negative 0, and that's 6 times. That's, oh shoot.
Okay, this one.
I got that as a 1. Oh, I messed up.
What am I doing wrong? I'm so confused.
Okay, what do you mean? What are you doing wrong?
Wait. I don't know.
Okay, well, you haven't done anything wrong so far.
I haven't. Oh, okay, so then 3 times.
So where does the 8 go?
The 8 goes right here.
Right. That's right.
Okay.
Okay, so.
And so then 3 times. Wait, yeah, I know. Okay,
So I would stick with the top row and do 1, 2, negative 1
Okay.
times the second column.
Okay.
So stick with your 1, 2, negative 1.
Okay, so 1.
And then do the second column. Okay, Jordan got negative 58, so did I.
You gonna take it up?
You okay with that? But Jordan, that was your second try, right?
Yeah,
That's-
because I need to recheck, like, I need to check my answers. That's simple mistakes for me. That's.
Okay.
So 0 and then 3. Oh, okay, so then 3 times 1.
Okay, if anybody, wants to come in after school today to take the test, because you don't want to wait till Wednesday, it's fine with me. You want to come in after school and do it? Otherwise, we're going to take it Wednesday
And
morning.
then just like keep doing that.
Keep going.
Oh, okay. So 3.
So now you're using 301.
Yeah. 3.
It'll just fly. It'll fly.
Take it, Joseph. Take it, Joseph.
So 22.
Yep, perfect. Good job. Good work.
You know,
Nah, but 4 different.